This girl, wearing a crown on her head, is one of the top dancers at a major theater in Russia. Her graceful body draws attention from many wealthy and powerful men every single day. But her name is Dominika, and she doesn't care about any of them. She only cares about dancing because her mother has a bad leg. The theater provides physical therapy and a place to live, but only as long as Dominika stays at the top of her career. She dances for her mother's health and survival. But things don't always go as planned. One day, while Dominika was dancing on stage, knocking him down. Later, the headmaster called her into his office. But instead of punishing her, he said nothing about the attack. Still, the female instructor wanted to make her pay. In class, she made Dominika face the same male student again. She told her to give him what he had wanted. The boy told her to turn around. Instead, Dominika boldly undressed in front of him. Her confidence threw him off. His desire vanished. He got dressed and walked away in defeat. Dominika had figured him out. He didn't want her. He wanted to feel power over her. By giving him nothing to control, she beat him. The headmaster saw this and knew Dominika had a gift. She could read people, manipulate them, and win without violence. She had passed the final test. Dominika graduated and was sent back to Russia, ready for her new life. As soon as Dominika got home, her phone rang. It was Uncle Ivan. He told her to meet him at a restaurant. When they sat down, Ivan gave her a new task. When she returned her key, the front desk couldn't find her form. That's when she realized Nash had stolen her registration form and investigated her real identity. His report revealed that Dominika used to be a ballerina and that she was the granddaughter of the Russian deputy director. Nash found it strange that someone would use their real name in a mission. He figured she had a deeper reason. That's when he began wondering if he could turn her to his side. A day later, Dominika ran into Nash again at a wine reception. This time they talked openly, knowing exactly who the other was. Nash said he wanted to be friends, and they agreed to have dinner the next night. When Dominika returned home that evening, Marta wasn't around. So Dominika took the chance to search the apartment, hidden in the corner behind the wall. More importantly, Marta was planning to sell secret information to her in London for $250,000. Dominika kept flipping pages, but then the door opened. Marta had come back. Dominika quickly slipped out of the room. Marta handed her a paper, saying the station chief had reported that Dominika was not making any progress because she refused to sleep with him. The next night, instead of going to dinner with Nash, Dominika decided to follow him secretly. She found out where he lived and made a bold move. She rang his doorbell, tears in her eyes, acting sad and helpless. She tried to seduce him by playing on his emotions, but Nash didn't fall for it. Instead, he told her to think deeply about what she really wanted. For the first time, Dominika realized that she couldn't control the situation. She had failed to read someone's mind, and it stung. She asked to see Nash again the next day, but he never came. She waited at the pool for hours. In the end, she had no choice but to go back to his place. Using the lockpicking skill, she spotted Ivan's passport inside and quickly memorized the number. When she turned back around, she froze. Marta was pointing a gun at her. Marta had overheard the entire conversation. She was furious. She had worked over a year for that deal, and now Dominika was trying to take it. Dominika stayed calm. She told Marta that she wasn't trying to ruin things. Instead, she could help. She said she'd get the Russian director to approve the $250,000 so Marta could go ahead with her plan. Marta was suspicious and asked why Dominika was risking her life like this. Dominika looked her in the eyes and said she had once seen the assassin who worked under Ivan. No one was supposed to know about him. If that ever got out, she'd be dead. Sharing this secret with Marta meant she was putting herself in danger too. But in doing so, she had also dragged Marta into her danger. Then she walked to the front of a local bank. Through the glass door, she spotted a young male bank employee who looked inexperienced. She chose him as her next target. When the bank was closing, Dominica rushed forward, pretending she was late and wanted to open a new account. As planned, the man locking the door was the same employee she had picked. Seeing a beautiful and helpless woman begging for help, he didn't think twice. She invited him to get coffee while helping her fill out the account information, and he agreed, too socially awkward to resist. Meanwhile, Marta, full of resentment, went straight to the intelligence station chief. She was still angry and revealed Dominica's weak points to him, brutally murdered. He spared Dominica's life only because she was Ivan's granddaughter. But he gave her a chilling warning. If anyone else ever found out he killed Dimitri, she'd be the next person lying dead in a bathtub. The local police opened an investigation, but found nothing useful, so Dominica was released. When she stepped out of the police station, Nash was there waiting. Over the past few days, his team had confirmed that Dominica was a Sparrow, a spy trained secretly by Russia. Nash confronted her directly. He explained the difference between how Russian and American intelligence services treated their people and criticized how cold and cruel the Russian system was. He told her he believed she didn't truly belong there. He offered her a choice: defect and join the CIA. Nash promised to protect her, just like he protected his last informant. His words hit something inside Dominica. After thinking for a moment, she agreed. Nash took Dominica to a CIA safe house in Budapest. 2 senior agents were already waiting. For security, they strapped a lie detector to her and asked her many questions to check if she was loyal. But the machine couldn't help them. Dominica was too well trained to be caught by such tricks. After the test, she didn't wait for them to talk. She made her own demands. She told them she wanted $30,000 sent to her Vienna bank account every month. The agents looked at each other. To them, she sounded greedy and arrogant, asking for money before doing anything. But then she shocked them. She told them the chief of staff of the U.S. Senate was secretly trying to sell missile technology. The room went quiet. No one spoke. The agents now saw her in a different light. Her information was explosive. No one doubted her again. On the day of the deal, Dominica went to a hotel in London. Inside a room, the Russian Security Bureau had placed $250,000 in cash. A fake cassette from the CIA wait for the chief of staff, a woman named Stephanie. But to her surprise, Intelligence Chief Maxim showed up instead. He said he had come to help with the exchange. Dominica immediately knew something was wrong. Maxim was one of Ivan's men. He was sent to watch her. Dominica didn't waste time. She rushed back to the hotel room with Maxim. The deal was complete. Before Stephanie left, Dominica warned her, wait 1 hour before leaving the hotel. But Stephanie ignored the advice. As soon as she stepped outside, she grabbed the bag of money and walked down the street. While waiting at a traffic light, she lit a cigarette. That's when she noticed something strange. CIA agents were watching her from both sides. Panic hit her. She threw the money into a trash can and tried to run across the street. At that moment, a truck hit her. Stephanie died on the spot. From across the street, a Russian agent had seen everything. He picked up his phone and made a call. Maxim answered. Once he heard the news, he told the driver to head straight to the airport. He turned to Dominica and said the director of the Russian Security Bureau wanted to congratulate them in person. She didn't answer. No matter what they said, she refused to confess, even if it meant death. Her silence made them furious. They called in Ivan. Coldly, he gave the order, torture her. They stripped her naked and locked her in a freezing cell. Cold water poured on her nonstop. After that, they dragged her back to the interrogation room. They asked the same question again. Did you betray Russia? But Dominika didn't break. The beatings got worse. Her whole body ached, but she didn't say a word. Then they played a video. It showed Maxim, the man who had returned with her, being executed. The interrogator stood behind her and pointed a gun at her head. One last chance. Still, Dominika didn't move. The trigger clicked. No bullets. At that moment, Ivan walked into the room and looked straight at Dominika. He asked her directly to tell the truth. But Dominika held her gaze and told him that everything she had done was part of the mission, to gain the trust of the Americans and find out who their informant was. Ivan couldn't argue with that. Sparrows were trained to complete their missions no matter the cost. Looking at his bruised and battered niece, something in Ivan shifted. He softened. For now, he ordered her release. But later, when he reported everything to the director and the headmaster, they didn't buy her story. They believed Dominika had fooled him. Ivan, now under suspicion himself, gave them his word. If he ever found out she had lied, he would personally take care of her. Dominika went back to Budapest and returned to Nash. Knowing that, she asked Nash for more money. She wanted the $250,000 to be sent to her bank account in Vienna. Nash was unsure. He didn't trust her fully, but somehow he gave in and agreed. There was something about her, something mysterious and hard to resist. But what happened next changed everything. One morning, Dominika woke up and saw that Nash wasn't in bed. She walked into the kitchen and froze. The assassin was back. He had wrapped a wire around Nash's neck and was together. Dominika managed to slash the tendons in his leg. Her eyes again. She was in a hospital bed. Her body had been treated, but her mind was racing. The assassin was dead. That meant there was no turning back. She had openly gone against the Russians. Just then, the headmaster appeared. Dominika froze. She thought he had come to finish her, but he didn't. Instead, he revealed a secret. He was the informant. Years ago, his wife had needed cancer surgery, but the Russian government had banned American doctors from helping. His wife died. That pain turned him into a traitor. But now he was tired. He wanted to disappear. He told Dominika that she had what it took to replace him. He wanted her to expose him. That way, she could survive. She would take his place. She would live. Dominika now had a plan. She turned herself in to the Budapest police and confessed to killing the assassin. She asked to speak with the Russian embassy. When they arrived, she requested a direct call to the director of the Russian Security Bureau. Over the phone, she gave them the name of the traitor. In return, she asked for her life to be spared. At the same time, the headmaster returned home. He didn't run. He didn't even lock the door. He sat on the couch and waited for someone to come. He was ready. Meanwhile, instead of being punished, she was celebrated. She was welcomed as a hero. In the grand ceremony hall, the headmaster sat in the crowd, clapping quietly with pride. Dominika had replaced her uncle. She was now the director of the Russian Security Bureau. But she had become something more. Not just a survivor, but the ultimate double agent. A sparrow who had mastered both sides. One who knew how to walk the razor's edge between two worlds. And just like that, her new life began. Not as someone who escaped danger, but as someone who owned it. Did you enjoy the recap? Please like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated next time we drop. Thanks for watching.